Alright, so this is Corey from Wolfpack Woodcraft, and today I'm going to talk about the sharpening devices I've used over the years. I got the camera at a little bit different angle, so hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. But I'm just going to go through the stages that I went through when I was learning how to sharpen a knife. And stage one were these pass-through sharpeners. Okay, so there's little V's cut into them, and then you put your knife into that V and you slide it through. There's a coarse and a fine, and then the Smith one's actually pretty cool because it has this rod that comes out of it. And I use that for sharpening serrations, so if I have a serrated blade, that's what I'd use that for. So I like that. And then I like this one too. This is an outdoor edge pass through, and the bottom twists, making an X, so that you could set it on a table and use it on a table. So I thought that was pretty cool too. And then I just have this one. This is a Edge Maker Pro. It's like a pro sharpening pass through sharpener. And so you can see the V's, right? And the issue that I ran into with these is, this is how sharp your knife can get. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It doesn't matter what you got going on. Whatever these are set at, that's the sharpest your knife is ever going to be. And then also, like my Moral Companion, it's a Scandi grind, so it's flat and flat, which I've covered in a previous video. And if you put that in that V, it's not on the grind, it's on the edge, it's on the cutting edge. So it sharpens the cutting edge, but it doesn't sharpen the grind, right? So you're going to end up with a secondary bevel on your knives, just where the edge is. And so I decided I wanted to be able to choose how my knives were being sharpened. I wanted to be able to adjust the angle and how the grind was, and I wanted more versatility in choosing what my sharpener did. So then I went out and I bought the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener, and this comes with different attachments and different grip belts. And this is a really good sharpener as well. But then I got to the point where I said, you know, I'm out in the woods quite a bit and I haven't ran into very many outlets. So I decided from there that I was going to stone sharpen, because that's a skill that a lot of woodsmen are proud of. When it comes to bushcraft and knife smiths and all the knife lovers out there, they get proud. I'm proud of how sharp my knives can get. And their stone sharpening is how they get it that way. So I went out and I bought a Japanese whetstone, and this is used, but this one is just a honing stone. I hone my knives. I don't really sharpen them that much. I just hone them. So this is 8,000 grit on the white side and 3,000 grit on the green side. And that's a whetstone. I keep that soaking. And so yeah, and I actually got pretty good at using that. So then I got a hook knife for making spoons. And for my hook knife, I was using sandpaper. Well, the sandpaper worked really well, and so what I did is I took automotive wet sandpaper, wet dry sandpaper, and I took chunks of wood, and I'd glue the sandpaper to the chunks of wood. So this is fine grits. This is 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, and I'd usually take the 1,000 or the 1,500, and I just taped it to a piece of wood. And so that's what I would carry out into the woods, because it was more packable than my big whetstone, and I didn't want to wreck this whetstone. They're kind of expensive. And that worked for quite a while, but I decided I wanted a real sharpener. I didn't want a homemade sharpener. And so then I went out and I got a Work Sharp field sharpener. I saw reviews online with it on YouTube, and the versatility this thing has is pretty awesome actually. And so what it has is it has 20-degree guides. So these yellow parts here are actually guides. So you put your knife on that guide, it's going to put a 20-degree angle when you pass through. And so that I thought was pretty cool for learning how to sharpen a knife. And then you can adjust from there. So like if you want 25-degree or something, you just adjust off these 20s. But it also has a coarse diamond stone, a fine diamond stone. It has a leather strop, which I have green compound on. And then it has this ceramic rod here, and it turns. So it's got a little red knob here to turn. So it's got coarse, which has a bunch of little grooves in it to make it coarse. And then it has a fish hook setting, which has 2 grooves in it that fish hooks fit in, so you can sharpen your fish hooks. And then you turn it again and it's got a really smooth ceramic side. So that ceramic rod is the fine honing rod. But then down here there's like a little tiny ceramic rod, and that little tiny ceramic rod is for serrations. So this one will hone your serrated blades as well. So there's a lot of versatility into this little sharpener here. And I use this for a really long time. And I would still use this. I just wanted something different, you know. I got really good with this, and I wanted something a little bit different. So then I went and I got a Falkneven DC4. A lot of people hoot and ha about the Falkneven DC4. So I bought it just to see what the hype was. And I love this thing. It's got a gold diamond 800 grit side, and then it's got a black ceramic 1000 grit side. And this thing is awesome. I love this thing. I use this for everything now because this is what I pack into the woods. And so even when I'm at home sharpening, I use a DC4 because I want to get sufficient with it. I want to make sure that I can get any blade I own razor sharp with this sharpener, so that no matter what I have in the woods with me, I know that I can get it razor sharp. So I only use this now. I don't use my work sharps or anything else. I only use this because it's so packable, it's so small, and I sharpen everything from my Mora to my BK9 with this sharpener. Just because I want to master it, you know. And so this is what I use now. And there's a lot of other great options out there. In Battle Box, I got a Viking whetstone that's actually a necklace so that you don't lose it. So this is another really good carry option if you're interested, because this, you just throw a little water on it and you can hone your blade back to perfect, right? And then I also have leather straps. I use old belts. And Battle Box got me a true leather strap that I've been using, and I really like that. But just a leather belt I used for a long time, and that got my knives razor sharp. And then a little bonus for you is this thing right here, which this isn't a sharpening stone. It's not for sharpening, but it's a rust eraser. It's a Japanese rust eraser. And this thing has saved my tail a few times. Something will start showing some surface rust, or it'll start spotting, and this will erase it right off. This is the fine grit Japanese rust eraser. I get these on Amazon, and I love these things. I always have this in the house, so if I go out and my knife starts getting rusty or something, I know it's going to be okay because I can come home and I can get rid of it. This thing is a lifesaver. So if you're really into knives and knife care, I don't see why you wouldn't want to have a fine grit rusty eraser, because it really does come in handy. It gets a lot of the junk off your knives that's usually pretty hard to get off. This will get it off just with an erase. So that's kind of my evolution of knife sharpening. I know the camera angle is weird and you probably couldn't see things, but I just wanted to get this video out. Somebody requested that I showed how I maintain the edge on my blades. And so I just wanted to get this out to them and show them that no way is the right way. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to have their own opinions, their own options. And what's right for me might not be right for you. But trial and error, you know. This I suggest for beginners because it has the guides and it has the strop and it has everything you need to not only get a good edge on your knife, but to learn what you like and what you don't like. You know, it has the ceramic, it has the diamond, it has the leather strop, it has the spot for serrations, and so it's a really good tool to learn what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with, and so that you can upgrade a little more efficiently than you can if you just get a whetstone or if you just get an electric sharpener. So that's my thoughts and opinions on knife sharpening. Make sure to leave your knowledge and your questions in that comment section. I want to hear how you guys keep your blades sharp. And if a pass-through method is good for you, let me know. There's a lot of good pass-through sharpeners out there, and I don't think I own the best, and I know that they're probably out there somewhere. So if you have some for beginners, put that in the comment section. Also, your Japanese whetstones, I'd like to know what kind you got. There's a lot of different stones out there, and there's some that are pretty expensive, and I never really knew if it was worth the bang for the buck. And just tell me, yeah, let's start a really good conversation on this one. There's a lot of knowledge in knife sharpening. There's a lot of technique, a lot of skill. Let's learn something. We're only going to grow together, right? So don't forget to leave your knowledge and your questions in the comment section. Like this video, participate, and as always, don't forget to subscribe and come join the pack. I have a new video every Thursday and Sunday, and I'm trying to make videos that you guys enjoy. I've gotten a lot of really good comments on things you want to see. Keep it coming. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.